How often you sit down to make music and end up doing everything except making music? One of my clients used to have a computer game open on one screen, Ableton on the other, and an important group discussion on Telegram in the background. So no shit, you didn't get any music done. What's the solution? Focus. Well, it's actually an acronym. So in this video, I will give you 5 tools or things you can do to help you make more music in less time. My clients have been using these and they now can write their ideas for the track in just one day. In the book, The Organized Mind, the psychologist and neuroscientist Daniel Levitin shares a research showing that every time you switch between tasks, it can take your brain up to 25 minutes to fully refocus back on the original task. So if you're focused on making music and a friend sending you a message on Instagram, when you go back to producing, your brain is still thinking about the text message from your friend, making it harder to get back into the same creative flow you had before when you were producing. So there is an app I absolutely love. It's called OneSec. Every time I open Instagram, it asks me to take a deep breath, then leaves me with a choice if to use Instagram or not. It even tells me how many times I have attempted using Instagram in the last 24 hours. Just by adding that a little bit extra resistance, you can completely eliminate the habits of mindlessly scrolling and stay focused on the important task of making music. The other option is just get rid of your phone. Out of sight, out of mind. I often just put the phone in the bedroom when I'm sitting here in the studio to produce. So the F in focus is filter distractions. If you have ADHD, struggle to focus, or have a deadline, this tool is for you. So in the late 80s, there was an Italian university student who was struggling to focus. So he used the tomato-shaped kitchen timer to break his work into 25 focused intervals, followed by short breaks. This method helped him stay productive without burning out, and it later became known as the famous Pomodoro technique. You may have heard about it before, but today I want to show you a fun way of using it and why it is so useful for music producers to help you get things done in less time. There are 2 ways I like to use this technique. You could simply put a timer on your phone for 25 minutes, then a timer for 5 minutes break. But you can also make it a little bit more fun, which is also related to the last letter of the acronym, the S of focus. There is an app called Forest. I think it costs something like £3 or £4. Every time you start a timer, you plant a tree. Every time you complete a Pomodoro, your tree grows. But if you leave your phone before the timers went off, your tree will die. When you get to the point where you have planted a forest, the sense of achievement can really boost your motivation, as you can actually see how much progress you made. If you're a musician working with deadlines, or even if you just struggle to focus, this technique can be a game changer, as over time, you will learn exactly how long different tasks take. For example, I know that creating a bass line takes me 4 Pomodoros, which is about 2 hours. This allows me to plan my day more efficiently and stay on track with my goals, and like that I can finish tracks much faster. So the O of focus is own your time. Focusing on a task is really not that difficult if you understand just one simple principle. So back to my client from the beginning of the video. Remember how when he sits down to work, he would constantly receive notifications and he's basically just shifting between tasks, from making music to checking the group chat on Telegram. This might feel satisfying because you constantly receive a dopamine boost when you receive a new message, but in reality, you get very little done. If you cut the noise around you, you will find it much easier to focus on one thing and stay productive. Just turn Do Not Disturb on your phone and laptop. All of these messages can wait for later. Yeah, but what if there is an emergency? Or what if my brother needs help? Well, first, if someone calls you twice, it bypasses the Do Not Disturb. But you can always set it up so your mum and grandma can call and text you. I promise you, any of your friends can wait another 30 minutes before you reply to the cat reel they sent you, or to the photo of whatever they ate for lunch today. Focus is really not that difficult when you minimize the distractions around you, or if you make the task more enjoyable, but more on that later. So the C of focus is cut the noise. If you ever watched a football match or any other sports, you know how momentum plays a big role in winning games. If you score a goal first, you suddenly have all the momentum, and it feels like you got an injection of energy that pushes you to try and immediately score another. You can build momentum when creating a track if you integrate these two techniques into your routine. So it's called the commitment ladder. It's a technique that helps build momentum by gradually increasing the level of commitment to a task. Instead of diving straight into the big and overwhelming goal, which is to make a whole track, you start with a small, easy step and work your way up. Now, the most difficult thing to do is start a task, especially if it's a complex one, such as producing a track or a song. If your task takes less than 2 minutes, do it immediately. It will take you exactly 2 minutes to choose a kick for your track. If a task is big, start with just 2 minutes. The idea behind it is to make starting as easy as possible. Instead of producing for 3 hours, you commit just to opening your door and loading a project. Once you start, you are much more likely to keep going. So the first step of the commitment ladder is the 2 minutes rule. The next step in the commitment ladder is to commit to something slightly bigger, like making a bass line or sketching a melody. This will help you build momentum, and it's these little goals which help you build a full track. So the U of focus is use momentum. So we have reached the S in the acronym. See it as play. And this is probably the most important one. Humans tend to classify tasks into two main categories: work and play. You have no problem focusing for hours on gaming, watching a movie, or chatting with friends because it's fun. You classify this as play. But when it comes to studying for an exam, finishing a report at work, or mixing a track, that's boring, and you struggle to focus because you classify it as work. Well, I specifically really like to mix, but you get the idea. You might not like to write melodies. I want to give you 2 ways you can make music production more enjoyable. So when COVID started and we all started working from home, I started hanging out with a friend that lived nearby. He happened to just started producing, and we ended up making music together every Friday. It was transformative for our creativity, as we shared ideas with each other that we wouldn't come up with alone. And I finished tracks much quicker. So the first thing you can do to make the process fun is collaborate with other musicians. But I know not everyone has a friend producer that lives nearby. So what would you do then? That's exactly why I started the Stuck to Finished community, so you can network, ask for feedback, and collaborate with other music producers. And as part of that, you can also join our private live coaching sessions, which help producers like Adam, Alex, Bruno, and David, and many others to finish tracks much faster. The second thing you can do to make music more fun is like this. If you can make music production give you a hit of dopamine, which is the same hormone which makes you feel good, you will become addictive to producing music, as it will feel so satisfying. Sometimes a simple to-do list can do the trick. When you're ticking things off of your to-do list, it can be really satisfying and help you track your progress. And that makes the whole experience more enjoyable. But even if you know every productivity hack, without understanding the full process of going from an idea to full track, you will still keep getting stuck. So, go watch this video next to find out more.